Thank you. It's just fantastic to be here. What a great room of incredible Hokies and some new friends and in the family. It's just a really incredible day for us. Anybody who knows anything about Virginia Tech and athletics understands how important this transition has been for us and the people we're bringing on board. Just a really exciting future for Virginia Tech. We're in the middle of a lot of momentum as a university and with athletics. That momentum has been building over the years. It's just exciting to see the enhancement in fundraising, in our philanthropy, in our footprint for Virginia Tech across the Commonwealth and the world. The student demand or enrollment, everything is humming, and athletics is joining in and moving forward with a lot of energy. We often use that metaphor of the front porch, but it really is apt. It's how we think of athletics. Athletics has an incredible impact on our national brand, something that's even more important as we move into the future in higher education. It has just a remarkable impact on alumni and student attachment. When we're out in Lane Stadium, you've got 66,000 people, students and alumni. They have an unforgettable experience, or Castle Coliseum, or any of our athletic venues. If you ask an alum from 20 years ago, what do they remember about Virginia Tech? They might say they had a great professor or they learned a little bit, and they appreciate the alumni network, but they're always going to bring up an event like a big game at Lane Stadium where something happens, Enter Sandman, a thunderstorm, whatever it is, it's going to be indelible. And that has just really important kind of impact on the attachment of our alumni and our students to the institution. Regional economic development, the impact of Virginia Tech on Blacksburg and the New River Valley can't be understated, and we're codependent. And of course, athletics is a leadership development program. There's a lot of statistics and evidence for how much the athletic experience at Virginia Tech and our peer institutions has on the future development of those individuals, those student athletes that go off and lead and really shine a bright light on Virginia Tech by their impact on the world. Before I move on, though, I'd like to thank Whit Babcock. He's been a partner of mine for 12 plus years, leading the institution and athletics program. He has had incredible impact on my own career in terms of understanding the development of athletics in the country, really being someone I could always talk to about what was going to happen in the future, incredibly prescient, and really got us set up for the momentum that we have today. So I'd just like to thank Whit for everything he's done for Virginia Tech. And I'd also like to thank our search advisory committee, many of whom are here today. I'll call out right now Lynn Dowdy for chairing the committee. Thank you, Lynn, for the work that you did. I think it was, it looks like from the outside a very fast search. We did it in, 26 days, start to finish, something like that. But it was very thorough, high energy, and a lot of great input from the committee. So thank you for that. And I just, when we think about someone who can lead us through the dynamic future that we're entering, we were really thinking hard about who could be the best person to move us through that into that future, but also to understand Hokie values, our commitment to family, to service, and wow, I think we hit it out of the park there. Before I introduce our new Director of Athletics, I just want to thank the Hokie Nation for the alignment that we've been able to achieve. I think that's been a key part of it. With the Board of Visitors, we have Nancy Dye here as a member of our board, several board members very much involved in the search, with the administration, and also with our donors and fans. We've heard the word alignment from almost everybody, how important that is. It really is critical. It's why we can act boldly, and why we can make deliberate steps in an efficient manner, like you've all seen over the last year. From Invest to Win, to lead donors stepping up early on, to the recruitment of James Franklin, to Hokie Ventures, and that apparatus being established, and now to the hiring of our next Director of Athletics. It is absolutely exciting and a critical appointment for us. The future of Virginia Tech is bright, and I'm excited to introduce the person who will lead us forward into that future. So please welcome our newest Hokies. So we've got Brian White, you'll hear from in a moment, his wife Paige, and his family, his children, Callahan, Emerson, and Eamon, and the extended family as well. Brian, congratulations, and go Hokies.
Thank you all for coming out today. This is a really exciting day for me and my family. I just can't tell you how grateful I am for the warm welcome I've gotten from Hokie Nation in my short public announcement in the last couple of days, but it's been a lot of fun coming into town here, and I'm really excited for this day. You know, the last time I did this, my 11-year-old Callahan, who's sitting in the front row, was a 2-year-old, and she clapped after everything I said, and at one point actually yelled, "That's my daddy." So I need that energy out of you today. With that, I want to thank the search committee. Thank you, President Sands, for everything throughout the process. Some specific shout outs, obviously Jim Miller, Lynn Dowdy, thank you very much. Jay Pearson, Coach Franklin, thank you very much for your involvement in the process. Mehul Sangani, somebody that I know was heavily involved as well. Just the process was very, very professional and well done. So from my perspective, I think it was really impressive. President Sands mentioned how it was 26 days. To me, as somebody from the outside being recruited, you need a very efficient process, and I felt very good that how professional and well run on all accounts. So I'm very grateful for that. I want to thank my family, Paige, Callahan, Emmy, and Eamon. Also want to thank my parents for coming in town from Florida. I want to thank my brother and his family for coming in town from Tennessee, and my mother-in-law who's looking away because she does not want the thank you, but thank you for coming to town from Arkansas. I need to thank FAU. FAU was really, really good to my family. The university, the community, there's really, really good people at FAU, the coaches in place, the faculty, staff, just to a person, FAU was so good to my family. President Hasner, Piero Busani, Chair Busani, personally were great to us, but every president that I worked for 3 different presidents and 4 board chairs, and they were all just awesome people. And we really ingrained ourselves in that community, and it was really difficult to leave FAU. But that being said, I mentioned the warm welcome with Hokie Nation, and I want you all to know that we plan to ingrain ourselves in this community just like we ingrained ourselves in that community, and we couldn't be any more excited for that opportunity. What interested me about this job, you know, right when I was first contacted about the job, I was immediately interested, and the first thing that comes out is Hokie Nation. You know, I think you all know, you all see it, but I want everyone to know that nationally everybody sees it. It's the first thing that jumps out to me is I think this is one of the more passionate and strong fan bases in the country, and that's something I want to be a part of. I think that to me is as exciting as anything else. You know, the other thing that I think is really, really exciting for me is the opportunity to work with Coach Franklin. I think Coach Franklin's, you know, an elite, one of the very best coaches in the country. To me, that like he's going to win a national championship at Virginia Tech, and I want to be a part of it, and I want to help him do it, and that fires me up. With that, I like it. I was hoping to get that. Thank you. The alignment President Sands mentioned is huge. You know, you see it from the outside. It's obvious. You know, I think from Hokie Ventures to Invest to Win to the recent donations to bringing in Coach Franklin, like that alignment, that takes institutional alignment. And that to me is something that I need to have success. Anybody needs to have success in an athletic director role. So that is really exciting to me as well, and a huge draw. Again, success across 22 sports. I think that this place can win championships in every sport. We have big time coaches, you know, and I'm really excited to get to know our coaches. I've had messages with some. I know I have a dinner later today with the rest of the head coaches, and I'm fired up about that. I think we can win championships in every sport here and compete at a high level. So that was a huge draw for me as well. Next is just to represent a great university. I think in athletics, President Sands mentioned the front porch piece. We need to be a front porch to represent a university. In this place, nationally, number 21 ranked public university in the country, great engineering, computer science, the Corps of Cadets. Like, this is a big time place that I'm going to be very, very proud to represent. So that's exciting to me. And finally, I want to be at a place where my skill sets match what I think is needed. And I've spent my whole career on the business revenue generation side of college athletics, and that's what we need. We need to grow our resources, because we got world-class student athletes and world-class coaches in place right here. And I want to help them win championships. And the best way I can do that is help grow resources. So I plan to do that with all of your help. And thank you very much, and go Hokies.
Thank you, Brian and Dr. Sands. We'd like to open things up now to our media members for Q&A. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'd ask that you state your name and affiliation and who your question is directed to, please. We'll start right back here with David Teal.
Brian, David Teal with the Virginian Pilot. Welcome. You mentioned you think that Virginia Tech is going to win a national championship under Coach Franklin. You guys were on the brink of it in men's basketball at FAU. What did you learn there about doing more with not the most resources? Because that's the position that Virginia Tech finds itself in.
You know, I think we need to change that. You know, I think we need to grow our resources, and that's my number one goal. What I learned from the special run we had at Florida Atlantic was the importance of building it and building it the right way. And I think over time it was a really, really special thing to be a part of, but it didn't happen overnight. It was obviously Coach May built a program the right way, and it's incredible the success that led to. But that being said, I think resources are, especially in today's day and age, today's world, resources are critical for success. So my goal is going to be to grow our resources and make our resources commensurate with expectations.
Center of the room, Mark Berman.
Hi, Mark Berman, the Roanoke Times. To follow up on that, in terms of growing resources, what was kind of your blueprint that you were able to do at Florida Atlantic that you want to kind of apply here to grow resources?
You know, I think every place is different, but I also think the fundamentals of revenue generation, I've had, great success at University of Missouri before that and at several stints at other schools before that. I think it starts with the people in place and, having a really, really good staff and really good systems and metrics and accountability. Functioning like a business, I think is important. And that being said, I don't know the systems that are in place now, and I want to get to know the people and learn how everything's run currently. But I know what it needs to look like, and I've proven that over the years at different places in growing revenues that I believe we can grow the revenues here significantly from all sides. And I think that. There's a great, strong, passionate fan base in place. There's great history here. We have all the tools necessary to grow our resources and help fund give our coaches and student athletes the necessary investment in order to win championships.
Right side of the room, Damian Sorlet.
Damian Sorlet, Roanoke Times. Brian, first two questions have been about resources. I'll continue the trend. About 3 weeks ago, Hokie Ventures was created from the Board of Visitors to tap into the business side of finding resources instead of going through the philanthropic end. How much can you tap into that avenue and help bring in more resources that way?
I think it can be a huge asset, to generate new resources, new revenue streams. Also to look at how do we use it to pool current revenue streams in order to make sure we're benefiting the most from those funds. I think it's a huge resource. The places, there's only a handful of schools in the country that have it, and some of my good friends represent those schools. So I've been in touch with them already. It was one of the first things I did. As I heard about the job, I wanted to dive deep into what I thought Hokie Ventures could be used for. So that I would have work on a really good strategy as soon as. We can, all get together, and this afternoon we'll be meeting with the staff, and we got to figure out how we can use it to the best of our ability, for sure.
We'll stay on the right side with Andy Bitter.
Hi, Brian. Andy Bitter from Tech Sideline. I'm curious, given your family's history, did you have any choice but to go into athletics administration for a career?
I Actually, my father, who's here, told me not to do it. He told us all to get out of it. But growing up around college athletics, it was a lifelong passion. You know, we always attended games and practices, and we had coaches and student athletes at our house. And similar to how we're raising our kids, it is a 24/7 thing. So, you know, you end up including your family and everything. And it was something I always wanted to do from a very young age.
Other questions? We'll go to the left side of the room. Ariel?
Hi, Ariel Schaefer, ABC 13 in Lynchburg. You mentioned your family, how you grew up around college athletics. Just curious on maybe what's a piece of advice maybe your father or your brothers gave you leading into this new job opportunity?
Leading into the job opportunity, you know, I think in talking with both my father and brother who are here, they were, you know, very, very excited about, you know, the opportunity as soon as I told them about it. And, you know, just everything at play here, the things I mentioned, I think that was the theme of our initial conversations. And really we're all on the same page. You know, it's a big time fan base and a big time place. You got a big time football coach. You can win here in every single sport. I mean, there's an unlimited upside and no downside to representing the Hokies. So it's a very exciting opportunity for all of us.
Next, we'll go to the center of the room, Ryan Castle.
Ryan Castle with Sons of Saturday. Brian, at FAU, you took several steps to boost attendance and improve the game day experience. What's your philosophy on providing the best game day experience, and what will your early objectives be here to provide the best game day experience to fans across the 22 sports?
You know, I think we're in the entertainment industry. You know, that's something that's really important for me is to make sure that, one, I got to get to know everything we're doing and why we're doing it, because I think that the atmosphere in Lane Stadium is as good as any in the country, and I'm so jacked up for Enter Sandman and everything that goes on a football game day. So I want to keep all the good things and make sure that we're doing everything we can to support all the good things, but also find ways to add to it. And the better the game day atmosphere can be, you know, I think the stronger our brand will be, and the more success we'll have. So it's definitely making those game day experiences special is a huge part of what we need to do and what we need to continue to do, because they already are pretty special, very special.
Other questions? Back to Andy Bitter.
Brian, I read in an article your favorite saying is PVO, positive vibes only. I'm curious where that comes from and sort of the origin of that.
I guess I haven't read that article yet, but I'm assuming one of my staff members put it out. But that is a daily conversation. That's funny. You know, that is a daily conversation. You know, these jobs are, like I mentioned, 24/7, and there's always something coming at you, and there's always something you got to figure out. And I think that staying positive, no matter what the issue is, we'll have a hard conversation. We'll walk out of it PVO, positive vibes only. And you know, I think it's really important. You just stay focused, stay positive, have great enthusiasm every single day. You're going to enjoy your job and your life more. And you can't ride the highs and the lows. You know, you just got to stay the course, keep grinding, keep chopping wood, and good things are going to happen.
We'll stay on the right side with Damian Swordlet again.
Brian, with Babcock moving to an emeritus role for the next 3 years, how do you plan on using his knowledge of this university and